are on here. Whew, it is some shit on here. Don't let everybody come in. Can we see you past that?
Yeah.
Clearly. Yeah. All right. All right. So, hey y'all. Y'all already know what this is. I'm your girl Kai K, and this is the first official episode of Planet Kai. Okay? Yes.
What up, though?
We are up here at my house in the trap. So if you've been to talk that shit, you know what the trap is. We're up here in the studio. So we're kind of hot. But we in here. And I'm finally in here with John Keith. Okay?
Hey.
Author, entrepreneur. What, can we call you an artist, a rapper? What you want to be called? Everything,
I rap a little bit.
Okay.
Make words go together, yep.
Thank you for coming and being on here with me. Like, I'm so excited that you're here.
No, I appreciate you
I
having
am
me here.
so excited. You got so much stuff going on. If y'all can see, the table is laid the fuck out. When I tell you he came here and he came ready, like he didn't miss a beat. Like we got everything up in here. So, let's start with the book. We're gonna start there first.
Start with the 30 and
because.
Well, first, I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
I do wanna just let everybody know with everything going on right now with Jacob Blake. I just wanna let everybody know our prayers,
definitely,
our thoughts are with them and their
definitely.
family. Because I really just learned they got him handcuffed to the hospital bed. He's paralyzed.
What?
I didn't know that, and I just learned that coming in here today. And I just want to let people know that my prayers and my thoughts are with the family.
Definitely.
And hopefully we get justice and we get change, and that's what we're waiting
that's
for.
What we're working
I had
for.
to get it off my chest because I know I'm an
happy
activist
you
too.
did. I'm happy
because it's definitely a serious issue that needs to be addressed, and hopefully we can keep moving forward.
It is.
And we got Black queens opening their own
Black
businesses and doing their own thing. We got
businesses.
and let's do our own thing.
Yes.
And keep this thing growing, y'all. I believe in Black Wall Street. We can do
definitely.
it. So keep supporting each other. I thank you so much for having me here.
Thank
All right,
you.
go
We're
ahead,
so
go
welcome.
ahead.
Let's get it popping. Yes, we get that definitely. So, what we got going on is we have the book. Can I grab this?
Yep, 30 and trying.
Okay,
Yep,
30 and trying. Now, if y'all tap in to talk that shit, y'all already know. When I got this book, I went crazy. Okay, I went crazy over this book because I felt like I just turned 29. We're all dating. Nobody's married.
Right.
And you really need to learn. Being in your 20s, you really wild.
Right.
You really don't have no focus. You're not really thinking about the future when you're kind of thinking about the future at the same time. A lot of the shit that you do don't make sense.
Right.
But you made it, like you broke it down.
Right. Yeah.
You broke it down to science.
Yeah.
In this book, like when I tell you I thought when I got this book from you, I told you, I said, oh, this is gonna be a quick read. When I tell y'all, I had to sit this book down every time I get done with a chapter because it makes me analyze myself.
Right,
it makes me rethink about what I did and why I was in certain situations or why certain people reacted the way they did in certain situations also.
Right.
So, what was the reason? How? Why?
So, how I came along with this book, I was actually writing. I was writing a comedy. I was doing the John Keith show. I was getting that together, writing the script. At the same time, I'm making side notes.
Yeah.
And so these side notes started adding up into, because I'm creating a life. I'm creating, this character, and I'm writing things, and I'm putting down my personal things that I was going through. I was writing them down on the side.
Okay.
And then it clicked, and I was like, you know what? I'm 30, and literally I went through all of these different things, and I was like, I need to write a book for us. And this is not just 30, it's literally 26, 27, 28. These are for people who are going into their 30s, because 30 is a big step. It's a milestone. And it's something where people think that they have to be accomplished, or you have to have something to show for, or whatever it is. And this book is here to show you that it's okay to not be okay
Oh
at that
my
age.
goodness.
It's okay to not be okay. And that's what I'm saying, because people put a lot of pressure on people at 30. You're 30, you don't have this, you don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And literally I wanted to write a book to let people know that it's okay to not have it. It's okay to still learn.
Yeah.
You're never too old to learn and to grow.
Exactly.
You're not too old to learn and grow. And that's kind of how it started. It launched it. And it took me a while to finish it. And I went through hell finishing this book. I went through hell finishing this book, y'all. And I'm talking about...
I'm going through hell trying to finish it reading because oh my God, like I'm literally emotional when I'm reading it, because it's like when I look back and I was like over the last few years in dating, I looked at some of the stuff I did and I'm just like, damn. When I'm reading certain chapters, when they break down like about your family and your upbringing, it's like, damn, like I'm really searching for something that I didn't think. Like in my mind, I'm thinking I'm just searching for a companion. When I'm really probably searching for a father figure or something to replace that figure. And,
because how you were raised has a lot to do with how you are now. I mean, in your household, when you're raised, that's how you gain your temperament. That's how you get your attitude. You get all of that from the household and the environment which you're raised in. And so, given that as a child and growing up into adulthood and searching for love, you love how you've seen love when you were younger. And so if you grew up around abuse or chaos, whatever, then that's kind of what you're used to and you feel like it's normal. I mean, and look at the Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez situation. Tory Lanez, he probably had a wild childhood. He thinks it's not normal to react.
But to him, that was normalized.
He thinks it's a normal reaction. And it's like, it's not a normal reaction at all to these things. And so, when you have a wild childhood or you have different things going on in your childhood where you're seeing things, you become numb to certain things or you just react differently. You get your temperament from that. And so you really have to reflect back on your upbringing and be wise about that. And also the person that you're choosing to be with, you have to understand their background and where they came from. And you have to make an assessment, an adult assessment, and see if this is something you want to deal with, something you want to build on. As far as look at how they treat their mother, look at how they treat their father, look at how, how they react in different situations. A lot of people get in relationships and they get in relationships so quickly. They get in relationships fast and they don't get a chance to really see people in different situations. You got to see how people manage their money. You got to see how people act when they're angry. You got to see how people act in stressful situations. You really have to take a step back and look at this person in different lights. So that way you know that you have a person that you can trust. Because usually people get in relationships and they're like, oh, I didn't even know they were like this. But if you take your time and you watch and look for those red flags, then you will have, an observation. You were able to take notes on, okay, this person does this when this happens. That's not something I want to deal with. I mean, I know you get people in your inbox, right? And they say, hey, babe, how you doing? Hey, cutie, whatever, da-da-da. And then you don't respond. And what do?
They nut up. You fat
curse
bitch,
you out.
You ugly hoe.
You ugly, you this and that.
Ass, red ass hoe. All
Right.
type of crazy shit.
Right.
All type of crazy shit we deal with.
I know, ladies. Y'all know y'all inboxes you out. I done seen a lot of shit in my timeline just now. And it's killing me how men are really treating y'all.
But then you have to think about how they fathers treated women.
And they think that that's a normal reaction. They have a sense of entitlement of some sort. Like you're owed a response. And that's just them being emotionally frustrated and literally stuff they picked up on their childhood where they think they deserve a response. And so you really have to take a step back, take time and get in a relationship and literally watch them in different lights.
And learn who you're with.
And learn who you're with. And learn. Absolutely.
When I tell you, I have dealt with people for a long time. And then when it gets to the end of things, you look and be like, I never knew this person. You never know who, what, when. Like, people really be hiding deep down demons that you don't know about. And because I always say it on Talk That Shit that in our generation, we don't date, we fuck. We have sex. We're not dating. We're not taking our time. Like, you get with somebody, y'all do it real good. And then I like them. I love them. No, you love that good dick. You like that good coochie. You don't like them. Because they end up really being toxic ass people behind all that good ass dick and that all that. So it's just something that I've been learning. And I'm personally still taking this because I have notes. I have a highlighter with this book.
Oh,
I have everything.
Great.
This is why I didn't even bring my copy out because it's so beat up because I'm in there and I'm flipping pages back and I gotta go back. Like, if my homegirl was here, she'd tell you, like, when I get into read mode, I put my AirPods in, I get my highlighter, I got my notepad right here because it's so much that I'm questioning myself about. I mean, that's because now that I am getting closer to 30, that I starting to want to. I'm not saying that I want to settle down because I know 30 is not the end. I know that it's really, if we took stuff serious in life, that we knew that it's just the beginning.
Right,
like,
exactly.
we're really just beginning on here. And thank you, babe. And I don't want people to think like you have to force, but you need to start getting ready to lock down in your 30s. So you have to start taking dating serious. You got to start taking who you're around serious.
Exactly.
It tells you about finances in your relationships, and that is big. And then one of the parts that I did just recently get to, you were breaking down what a husband was, and you never put in there that a husband finances. It was nothing. It was about the provider. And providing does not always mean finances. It's not always money.
Not always about money.
And people don't really understand that.
And literally, if you when you get into that point where I said a husband is, you know, a person that leads and makes a positive home, and really it doesn't have anything to, it has something to do with money, but money is not the main issue at all. It's nurturing your household. It's educating the children in that household. It's educating the woman in that household and feeding her and uplifting her in that household. That's what creates a beautiful home. You know what I mean? It's more than that. And that's why I'm like, when you're a leader, and a lot of people get this thing leader, the word leader mixed up. Right? They get it mixed up and it ends up being a dictatorship where they're making demands and they think you got to follow my order. But a good leader also knows when to take the back seat. A good leader knows that if someone else has a better idea, they know that to let that better idea go. So when it comes to being a leader, and you know, and people go back and forth with this all the time, but if a woman has a better idea than the man does, the man has to be conscious enough to know that her idea is better, and be conscious enough to know that her idea is better. Okay, babe, you lead. Go ahead. You had a good idea, whatever. And that's the part of uplifting each other. That's a good leader. A good leader is not, I always have the answer. Because you don't always have the answer. Everybody does not have all the answers. It's impossible to have them all. Unless you talk to everybody on this earth, you don't have all the answers. So somebody may know something that you don't.
Shit, you probably still won't have all the answers. It's going to be another question that develops somewhere.
Exactly. So yeah, you just got to really just take a step back sometimes when you're having discussions about what to do next or the next moves or whatever. And if the other person has a better idea, roll with it.
Let it go.
It's okay to take a back seat. That's good leadership. Leaders know when to step backwards and let the other person shine. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And so yes, that's just a part of making a good husband. I'm not a husband yet, but I am a husband about to be.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm on my way. I'm ready.
I ain't got that proposal.
I'm ready.
Okay, you say it's coming. And that's so crazy that you brought that up because since you brought it, would if I was to read this book and not know you personally, I would be like, man, this man is a relationship guru. Like, he been married for 30 years. Like, what is it that's going on? So, like, did this help you discover yourself more?
It did.
In the process of writing this?
It did, because when I wrote this book, I was in a real dark place. Like, I was homeless. I mean, literally, it was just rough for me. I wrote this book, actually, I finished it in a hotel in Warren. Like, and the story that I tell, like, I remember crying in the hotel room. It was crazy, because I was driving this old raggedy van. I was homeless, I had nowhere to go. I was trying to go to this hotel room, and I'm driving, and then the wheel just flies off the van, right? And I'm just like, what else can go wrong?
Is it, Lord?
And everything was against me finishing it. You know what I mean? And I had a hard time finishing things, and I found out what was wrong with me. And when you find out what's wrong with you, you have to own it, you have to say it out loud, and you have to address it. And that's what I did. I had to address that, what was wrong with me. I couldn't finish things because things get rough, and I'm just like, oh, whatever. But instead, I was like, I'm finishing this. I went in the hotel room, I just like let it out, and I'm like, I'm finishing this. And I finished it, and it really just enlightened me got me really used to finishing things. You know, now I like finishing things. That's how I ended up with FitFab. That's how, you know, things are getting accomplished, because now I'm addicted to finishing things.
I know that.
And so once you find out what's wrong with you, you can address it, and then you can fix it. That's the thing. But the first step is actually acknowledging your problem and finding out what's wrong with you, because everybody has something wrong with them. You just have to find out what it is. Nobody on this earth is perfect. Someone has a problem somewhere. You just have to own what it is. And once you start owning what it is, then you can fix it. You know what I mean? And that's just what happens.
And with that, I like to say, with our generation, our problem with that is social media glorifies everything. Nobody put their downfalls on social media. So we feel like everybody is great. Everybody is making it. And I have even been in that place to where even when people come to me like, you got it, you got this all figured out, and I be like, girl, I don't know shit. Like, I'm really trying to figure this shit out in real fucking life. But it makes me want to work harder because now I know somebody else is watching and think that I got this figured out. So I understand the point of wanting to finish and all, because I was a procrastinator. Like, oh my, like, Wink really took me to being stuck on something. I will start shit all the time. Like, I've had fucking 2 internet shows before this that never even touched the internet, all type of stuff. And it finally came to me being in a down place. When I started Wink, I was mentally broken. I was physically broken. I had was bouncing back after having 2 miscarriages. Was fucked in life. Like, I was really fucked up. And Wink really, like, took me, it gave me something to focus on. It gave me something to build. Like, that was my baby. Like, it made me build. And it was like, it was times where I just wanted to walk away from the shit. Like, I'm done with these bitches. I'm done with these lads. Fuck all this shit. But it was like, this is yours. This is your name. Your name is on it. This is your brand. And now that I have built a brand around my name, I know the importance of keeping it up and keep working and keep finishing.
Keep building, Because my pops told me, you know, he told me, because he was a business owner when I was younger, and he told me, you have to treat a new business like a newborn baby. You have to give it everything it needs, nurture it, feed it, until it gets old enough to where it can take care of you. And that's what you have to do. When you start out your business, it's not easy. Starting your thing is not easy. People won't support you. People will say no to you. But when you start feeding it, giving it everything it needs to prosper, and that means sacrifice, that means, you know, giving it your all. And once you start getting to the point where you're getting noticed and people are, you know, starting to mess with you and all that, then, you know, now you know that your business is growing. It's getting older, and it's going to get to a point where it starts taking care of you. And literally, I'm sticking by that, and I'm seeing it. You know what I mean? And I'm seeing it. I'm able to take a step back and actually see that I started this with, like, just literally just giving it whatever I needed to kind of try to build my brand, build my name, and I'm sticking to it. Because, you know, like I said, I got addicted to finishing, and this is what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? So
that's a new thing to run with. I want that to be the new thing, addicted to finishing.
That's the mentality.
We are some starters, and we are not. Hashtag finish it.
Hashtag
finish it. Yes.
Hashtag finish it.
So let's go on, because you brought it up. We have Fit Fab. That's your clothing line that you're starting now.
Absolutely.
You have socks. You have shoes. You have shirts. You have apparel. You have a whole everything going on. So where did that come from?
Fit Fab was, like I said, I was addicted to finishing, and then I was like, I need to start something because I hated working. I didn't want to work no more, and I always wanted to do something with fashion. I'm like, let's just start it. And Fit Fab just kind of came to me because I wanted to do something with fitness, because, you know, I used to work out like a lot. I still work out, but, you know, not as much as I used to, but now I'm like, I'm back to working out. But you know how it go. Be like, stop, get back to it. Stop, get back to it.
Y'all know me. Y'all follow my journey.
but I was like, there's no really black alternative to fitness clothing.
It's not.
You know, you got Adidas, you got Nike, you have, but there's no black alternative. So I'm like, I have to start somewhere. So I'm like, okay. So I started with the socks. I have the shoes coming. They're actually gonna be here. I had to push back my date. I'm so bad. But before Labor Day, they're going to be here. But they coming. I know things like that happen, so I'm not, you know, crying over spilled milk. It's all right. But you don't have that.
I think the pink and white ones.
Yep.
And see, I'm not really a gym shoe wearer, but this is something that I could throw in.
Yeah.
And I can go in. Plus, I hate strings. I hate strings.
They slide right on.
Okay, you're not going to trip my ass.
I walked about 30 New York blocks in those.
Okay.
30 New York blocks in those. All right, comfortable.
Period. It's going to be a good, like,
he wasn't hurting to nothing.
Be good support.
But yeah, I tested them out for a month and a half, and they ready to go. I mean, I designed them, and I'm just so focused on pushing these and doing it, and I just want to continue to build upon, you know, with the shoes and the socks, and just build a whole line of fitness apparel, so that way people have an option they can support Black-owned fitness apparel, because there is none on the market that I know of that that are going global, and so that's my ultimate goal, is to go global.
And that's what we need to push. Buy
Absolutely.
black, support black.
Absolutely.
Because Nike is not going to put into your community.
Nope.
Adidas not going to put into
Not
your
at all.
community. None of that is going to build into your community. But if
Not
you
at
build
all.
into the man who's selling into your community, they're going to build in their own community.
Right.
And that's what I love to teach people. So the next thing I want to get on, because we have been going through this and we're all going through it. How did the pandemic affect you business-wise, being an entrepreneur?
So the pandemic happened, and literally, so this is around the time I started Fix That.
Yeah.
And so, me and Shelby we had some money saved up, and we were like, well, we were thinking about quitting our jobs, whatever. When the pandemic happened, we got laid off, so we were like, well, what better time than right now? Let's just do
Exactly.
something.
Why not?
Let's just do it.
Why
So
not?
when I started getting my products in, I started selling, and I'm like, cool, we able to support each other off there. When you get your first sale, it's like, if I can sell one, I can sell 100. Okay, cool. If I can sell 100, I can sell 1,000.
Yeah.
And that's just how the mentality should be going.
Yeah.
So now when you can literally support you can pay your bills with it and stuff, that means that something's
the goal.
working. And it's
That's
the
the goal.
If you can take
That is
care of
the
yourself
goal.
with it, then that's the goal. But the pandemic, gift and a curse.
Oh yes.
Gift and a curse.
Ooh.
Because the fact that I was working, I had a decent job, but I hated my job. But I'm like, damn, I want to quit. But at the same time, I'm like,
What am I gonna
But
do?
then, you know what I mean? But then they did the layoff, and I'm like, well, it's time.
Yeah.
Now I have time to sit down at home, and I can work on all the things I want to. Because you at work, you sneaking texts,
Yeah,
trying
do
to handle
shit,
business.
yes.
Supervisor around you. Why you on your phone? I'm trying to handle business. But now I'm at home, and I'm able to take care of everything I needed to take care of. And I realized that I can do this all day, every day. This is fun for me. Now I have the freedom to do the things I do, because I was terrible at every job I had. Like, literally, I was late all the time. I didn't like it. I didn't like working. I didn't like working for people. Like, I didn't. So I was like, I just want to be an entrepreneur, because I've always had business. Like, I opened my first business. I was 21. I opened up a record label. It was Familiar First Entertainment. And literally, we had no idea what we were doing. We was just in an apartment making beats and rapping, whatever. We got to open up for Rick Ross and Shorty Low, R.I.P. But we were able to do that, and then I started Victory Entertainment with Jay. What up, Jay Levine? And we did that for a little while. That kind of went downward, and I was just like, man, and it all came down to me. I'm not finishing anything, and I had to stop blaming people for why things didn't work. You know what I mean? You know how things don't work, like, so and so did this, and that's why it didn't work. No, it's my fault, and you have to start owning your faults.
I did that.
And then after that, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm at a point where I want to start this business. I have this new mentality. I have this new education. I have this new mindset, and let's do this. And so we just leaped, and we just decided that we are going to stay afloat. We made the decision that we're going to stay afloat, and that's what we did. So,
I feel like if you can make it through the pandemic, I think that's what the pandemic taught a lot of people. A lot of people did lose a lot, but a lot of people gained a lot. And it wasn't even if it was materialistic. It didn't have to be monetary. It didn't have to be that. I gained a lot mentally. I gained a lot within myself, because I really didn't lose a lot during the pandemic.
Right.
I lost my circle of friends. I had to learn how to be by myself, and as you know, like, I'm a partier. I hang out. I'm always with people, and I was learning. I had to learn how to be alone. I had to learn how to be strong. Like, in other people's eyes, I'm so mentally like, but real life, in reality, I was really weak as fuck. Like, I needed backbone. I needed somebody to lean on all the time. And with the pandemic, I had to learn to sit here. And I didn't have a team to build around. So I couldn't call nobody like, bag this up and get this done. I literally had to sit down and do all my work myself. I literally had to deal with myself issues because I was by myself. And it really... I'm coming out of this stronger than I went into this. I would have never really jumped into Planet Kai like you were saying. A few years ago, I started the round table. I remember that. I did it with all my friends. And when it crashed, I was pointing fingers. Like, you were in, you did that, and you did this on there, and I was so mad. And I never took the time to sit down and be like, you know what, Kai? What did you do? And then, before this started, before the pandemic, me and Aurelia started Talk That Shit. And Talk That Shit was starting to take off, but with the pandemic coming and all the lockdown and her home. You know, she has kids and all that stuff, and she couldn't really be
Yeah,
out.
yeah, that
It was
changed up.
it was making it hard for us, and it was like, you know, well, what can you do to keep yourself afloat? And I always wanted to do my own podcast. I always wanted to
Right.
figure out. I thought I wanted to be in radio,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like I'm too cute to be
I
behind.
feel like you
Like,
can,
need
you
to
can be
be
a part of
seen.
radio
Yeah,
personality.
Need to
yeah. Like I
see,
feel like I'm too
right.
behind. Like I need to be
You need
seen.
to be
So I had to figure out something to work out for me, and it really took the time to where I had to knuckle down. Like, what are you
Right.
going to do? How are you going to do this? And I was putting off. Like, we were supposed to do your interview a month ago.
Oh yeah.
And I was still procrastinating, even though I got to a good place. I was still procrastinating. And I'm like, okay, once I get in the studio, until I do this, until I do that. But I'm like, you know what, you
Right.
gotta
Just
jump.
do it.
When
And
you
that's-
jump,
and that's-
shit gonna work
yeah,
out.
And that's something I do say to people, like, you don't have to have everything together to start. Like,
No,
a lot of people
no.
like, oh, I'm gonna get this, I gotta get this,
No.
I wanna launch, I'm gonna have everything together. It don't work that way in the real world. It don't. Literally, when I launched, I didn't have all this stuff. I didn't have anything. I just started out with some socks, and they were selling, and I was
I
able to
started
buy other
with some
products.
pictures from a
Yeah,
vendor.
you know what I mean? You know,
Like, they're coming.
It's coming. I promise, it's coming.
I promise I got y'all this order.
Right, and that's it. I mean, you just start, you just believe in yourself enough that it's gonna make this reality, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm just
Yeah.
building that way. And it's like you don't have everything together, and it's okay to not have everything
Yeah.
together, but you just keep that mindset that you're going to get to that next spot. You're going to make it to that next spot, and once you keep your mind derived on that position, period, you're gonna make it. You're going to make
Oh,
it. And you have to
definitely.
see it. You have to see it, and once you see it, nothing else should be in your way to get there. There's gonna be a lot of shit around you to fuck with you to try to deter you from doing it.
Okay.
But if you know and you focus, I said this on one of the lives I did today. You have to have a roadmap and know where you headed. When
Oh,
you know
yeah.
where you
Ooh.
going, you know where you going. Can't nothing around you stop you.
You know what
Nothing
I had
around you
to
stop
invest in? A pen and paper.
you.
The best thing you can do in life is write something
Right.
down. To put it in your phone is to forget about it. I used to tell people like, oh, I take notes. I put it in my phone.
Uh-huh.
I got so many back notes.
Don't
in
even
my
know what the hell me
phone.
was. I don't even know what this
the fuck?
was.
Like, you be looking like, oh, must have been writing some shit down. Let me read this.
Yep. And I'm telling you, as a oh shoot.
Oh, we good. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, we're good. We're still here.
Okay.
We're good. Yep.
No, mama used to tell me, keep a pen by the porcelain.
Oh my
You
goodness.
sit on the toilet, get
You
the best
had-
idea. Sit down, grab you a pen,
Oh, my
write
God,
down, and
you
I got an
have to.
idea.
You have to. I keep a pen and a notepad in my purse.
Uh-huh.
Because
Yeah.
I never know what is going to come to my mind. And I have a friend who always tell me all the time, like, if you don't write it down, you're going to forget it.
Right,
And
yeah.
now that because with Planet Kai, I am getting into vlogging.
Uh-huh.
And my whole thing about vlogging was, oh, I'm going to look like shit. When you a vlogger, you have to jump on at that moment.
Right.
And
With
see,
hot, yep.
this is not this all day.
Uh-huh.
You don't get this all day. Some days you may come in my house, I'm in here in the bonnet, the Meek Mill braids make
Who
me
the hell
out.
is that?
Okay, you don't know who here.
Who are you and what you
don't
doing with
know
Kai?
who you're going
Where
to
Kai
get.
at?
So, he was telling me, like, if you don't want to instantly vlog, write it down.
Uh-huh.
But
Right.
see, that's another barrier I have to come over because if you don't do it now, you're not going to have the same passion.
Right, exactly.
As you're going to have down the
Exactly.
line for stuff. So you have to get it out the way
Uh-huh.
now.
And do
You
it.
have to go ahead, and even if I'm on there with snot boogers in my nose, you know, I got to get it out because I've had moments recently where I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to go make me a
Uh-huh.
video. Like, I made
Right.
my little spot.
Right.
So I'm going to go on my little couch, and I'm going to vlog about it.
Uh-huh.
Then I get downstairs and I be like, I don't
Yeah,
even want to
I
talk
don't
about
know
that
what
shit
right.
no
And it don't
more.
happen.
And
It
it
don't
don't
happen.
never come out.
Yeah, it don't happen.
So it's like you have to do it now, and I'm just learning that.
Uh-huh.
So, what is next? What's next?
We building, so I'm waiting on these shoes to come. So when the
Okay.
shoes come, we have 3 different colors. I got black and white, maize and blue, and white and pink. So
Okay.
after that, I'm gonna have more colors. I got Laker colors coming.
Okay.
Oh, I got colors
All
coming from
type of
stores.
stuff.
And so my goal is to just keep building this catalog.
Mhm.
So you know, the more I sell, the more I'm able to buy more inventory, get more, you know, and it's
Yeah.
just I'm starting raw. So that's just what it is. So my goal is just to keep grinding to the top. Keep grinding to the top. That's just what it is. I mean,
That's how
literally,
you gotta do it.
I'm doing everything. I got my self-published book. I mean, I'm always been an artist.
Is there
I've been an
another
artist.
book coming?
30 and Trying is definitely going to be a saga. It's
Oh,
definitely gonna be a saga.
please,
30 and
okay.
Trying. I'm 30 and trying. I'm actually got my ideas ready for my other ones. I'm gonna talk about starting businesses. 30 and trying to start over. 30 and trying. 30 and trying is going to be a thing. Like I just want it to be a thing, but I wanted to lead with something that was powerful and something that I could really
I'm just happy that you're letting them know that it still continue after 30.
Oh yeah.
Like I know it's big that we forget that there is life after 30.
Right. Yeah.
I've been through that. Like I call it the 30 blues. Like when you're starting to turn 28, 29, you start getting to that point where
oh my God, it's 30.
Shit not figured out. Yeah.
Lord.
Shit not figured out.
Right.
Where am I going? What am I
gonna do?
Yeah.
Yep.
All type of crazy shit.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's not the end.
Right, it's not.
It's the beginning.
Right.
It's really the beginning. So we brought up earlier the John Keith sitcom. Are we gonna take that out? Cause see, I was supposed to be on there too.
My comedy show is written, so I wrote the script, so I gotta revamp it. So I gotta revamp the script, but it's definitely in the works. I definitely want to do that. But with all this going on, I'm like, I gotta, you know how you have millions of things going on. Yeah. Be great at multiple things, but not great at something. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna focus on this, get this going, and then I'm gonna definitely get back into the comedy show and get that popping. Definitely. My main focus right now, though, really was just to build the brand, build the book, and just build, just John Keith Victory Entertainment with the song, by the way, Shot With Me.
Oh,
you can get it on all platforms. The song is Shot With Me. I made it for all the entrepreneurs. If you're selling something, get shot with me. Look,
I was rocking to it, okay? I rocked to it.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice vibe.
I definitely rocked to it. I like a good song. I like something I can be.
It's a nice little vibe, y'all. I'm telling you. So, Shot With Me, John Keith featuring Sam Watson. What up, Sam Watson? I appreciate him hopping on the track. But yeah, definitely you can get it on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, it's anywhere. So definitely check that track out. I put it on my story all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, for real. Share the video. Shell's on the beach.
Yes, we got Shell in here.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, because we know we can find her page through yours. She sells
she got swimsuits.
All types of. My cousin has a sexy one from her. I like that. Okay? We're going to get her over into the plus side. So
I am. I'm working on that now.
That's all right. She going to have us set at least by next summer, okay? By y'all trip.
It's too late now. It's not too late.
No, it's not.
It's not too late, but it's the fact that here home, summer is almost over. But it's not only for here. So I'm definitely going to still focus on it and continue to build my brand for that.
Okay, so I wanted to get you on the spot with this one. Before we end.
Yeah.
One word to describe you in your journey. What would be the one word that you would give yourself?
Finish.
Finisher.
Finisher. Finisher. That's a finish.
Period.
Finisher. And I want to encourage all y'all to really, if you're thinking about an idea, if you've been talking about an idea, if you hate the situation you in, or whatever it is, you can get out of it. You just have to focus and finish. Focus and finish.
That was beautiful. Focus and finish.
That
is beautiful.
Focus and finish.
That was
fucking
beautiful.
Focus and finish.
That's going to be stuck. I need this interview today because you really said a lot of key stuff. I really want everybody to take their time out. I need y'all to go. And how are we getting this book?
Oh, you can go on 30andtrying.net. That's THIRTY and trying.net, y'all. Okay?
There we go.
30andtrying.net. I literally go all the way back from, I've cheated back in the day. You can read
his whole life is broke down in
why I cheated, what I was doing,
I think
all of
I
that.
relate with the book because some people try to give you books, they want to go off of other people's life, but you literally broke down your own life.
Yeah,
you gave it to us in this book, and that's what really made the book even doper than what it is.
I definitely go back and
really gave us an insight
Yep.
of your life and what you were going through.
Right.
So it won't seem like it's fiction.
No,
it's real life.
It's all real. Everything
life.
I went through, why I cheated, what I was doing, my mentality, and then, you know, of course, I give hindsight, and also I give advice on, okay, why, you know, you just gonna learn pretty much why men do what they do, and men can learn why women do what they do. I also got sections in there about co-parenting. I mean, I interviewed about 30 women on co-parenting.
And you know what? I did want to ask you that. Before we get done, how did you get your woman's perspective because you like knocked that shit on the head.
Yeah, no, it's just asking questions, asking in-depth questions, because you know I don't have any children, so I don't have any, you know, I couldn't really input any input. I want to talk to people that actually are in those situations and co-parenting. And that's why I'm explaining, like, when there's still emotional ties to the other person, it's always turmoil, right? Because the other person still wants the other person, or mad that they're with another person. When you mad when you're with another person, and they, you know, they're saying, I don't want them over there with them, whatever, it's still, you have an emotional tie to that person, and that's just what it is.
So don't think because you have kids that this book is not for you. He literally break down
it's for
everything in this book. It is everything that you need. Oh my God, it's a toilet reader.
Really?
It is a toilet reader. But if you're a person like me and you're an overthinker,
look, in the beginning of our relationship, he used to be like, "What the hell are you doing in the bathroom?" I'm in the bathroom sitting on the toilet.
Let me tell you, when I get up in the morning, I get whatever. It's my phone.
Yeah.
I get the chargers. I get my weed, and I go in the bathroom.
Get on the
and I'm in there for. And anybody who know me, if you call me because I'm a sleeper, everybody know that's my thing. I like to sleep. When I wake up and I'm returning your calls, I'm on the toilet. I'm FaceTime people good morning. I'm on the toilet. I don't care. I just want you to know that's where I handle all my business when I'm on at night when I'm handling my late night over in China business. I'm on the toilet. I handle that's my thinking spot. So this is really a good toilet book. Yes, okay. It is really a good book to read. It's something quick. It's something that breaks down a lot. It's going to help everybody. You don't have to be 30. If you're 25.
Yeah, if you're in a relationship and you want to know whether it's worth keeping, if you are single and wondering why you keep getting overlooked, if you are, you know, just really in a bad spot with back and forth with someone, and it's really good to get some perspective. It really is. So I definitely recommend it to people in all kinds of situations. It's not just for 30, but if you are approaching your 30s or you're just in a situation, it's good to read. Definitely if you before your 30s, it's definitely good to read up on it, because I mean, you can never know something too soon. Learn it now. Learn it now.
So let's drop your handles.
Oh yeah, I_am_John Keith on Instagram. Of course on Facebook, John Keith.
Definitely.
Catch me on Spotify. Like I said, shout with me, John Keith. You can find me on there. YouTube, The Real John Keith. You can find me on there. Go to fitfab.net. That's where I have all my clothing. You can order these socks. I got them for $20. 2 pair for $20.
And you can't beat
2 pair for $20.
Y'all buy Nike socks that's $20 a pair. Right. So I know you can go spend $20 on it.
And you can make a statement. I mean, no justice, no peace. And what's going on right now, I mean, really, it's really eye-opening how we ain't free, y'all. We ain't free. And that's a real conversation to have. You can buy whatever car you want, whatever house you want, whatever you want. But just they're letting us know we're not free, y'all.
No, we not.
So we have a long way to go.
Every day.
Really serious.
And we really have to bind together. That's why I really wanted you on here to show. I know it's so glorified to be a drug dealer, to be
that dope.
Everything, these street niggas. But it's okay to be a businessman and be black. It's okay.
You know, I was watching who was that? Erica Mena was talking about how Erica Mena, she was talking about how, you know, the husband like guys are corny, whatever, they find them corny, you know, and women want the thug dude, the thug this and that, and really there's a lot of guys who internalize their pain. And mental health is not really being broadcasted in the hood like that, and a lot of people need to talk to people and are not, and they get in relationships and they don't know how to love you. And that's the problem. I know y'all like rough, rugged men and this and that, Like, I was overlooked a lot. Like, I was always told I was corny because you got jokes, he always smiling and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
What's wrong with
but nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? But it's just really, I really, when I heard that, I was like, that's really real. Because a lot of men do internalize their pain, and they don't want to talk to anyone. They don't want to get, you know, they're psychiatrists. I gotta talk. People cringe at that. But if you have pain in you gotta talk to people.
My partner Ari she stresses this. The mental health in the black community. Yes. It is. I have brothers. I have no sisters. I have a lot of plain god sisters, but I have all brothers. And it is it's hard for them when they're going through stuff to just be like open and express when they need help. And because I'm a woman and they're my brothers, I come in and be like, it's okay, like, and I don't want to force it on them. I want it to just be normalized to be a man and express your emotions. It's nothing wrong.
And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with expressing your emotions because you're a human being. Right, exactly. You're a human being and you got emotion. It's okay. Because you internalize it. What you do is you put your hurt on other people. You start putting your hurt on the girl you love, or women do the same thing to their men. They'll put their hurt on the man. And so internalizing only hurts the household that you're trying to build.
Definitely.
So when you talk to someone and you get serious about the help you need, then that way you can start healing the healing process and building that home that you want in your mind. Because everybody in their mind has that, I want the home, I want the kids, I want everybody together. Nobody wants a broken home. You know what I mean? Nobody wants a broken home.
But then if you're a broken person,
right? But if you're broken,
connecting with another broken person, what are you gonna build brokenness?
Exactly. So it's definitely, mental health is definitely a serious subject that people need to address. And owning your shit, own your faults, learn what your faults are, and definitely address them. And once you acknowledge what it is, you can actually attack it and defeat it, and become the person that you know, to build a household of what you can imagine, what you imagine. You know what I mean? It's just like that. It's hard work. It ain't easy. I tell people it ain't easy, but you have to take those steps. You have to take those steps.
Well, y'all, so we don't stretch this out too long. We got a lot of good points done in here.
Oh yeah.
I really appreciate you coming out and taking the time to sit here and talk to me. I appreciate you writing this book. I appreciate you taking your time and building this fucking clothing line. Like, if ain't nobody cheering you on in this world, press that button for me. I'm cheering you on. It's probably just telling us something. Low battery. I'm cheering you on. So,
yeah, likewise.
This is not going to be the last time John Keith is going to be on Panic High.
No. This is my sister right here, y'all. This is my sister right here.
Oh,
let me tell you when I first met this girl.
Oh my God, let me tell y'all.
She pulled up. What up, Ty? What up, April? We at the house party and chilling, whatever.
He gonna lie, y'all.
She pulled up. She pulled a whole fifth. What you have tequila in you?
I did not put.
We killed that. That bottle got killed. And then she reached in on the other side and pulled out another bottle. I'm like, how many bottles you got in there?
John is so. We had ever since the first day I met John. It was so much fun, and I'm about to fuck you up with this guy. You ain't godly because you got on that godly shirt, okay? I may have lost in this game, but I'm winning in life. A John Keith quote, okay? This is a John Keith quote for y'all. I may be losing in this game, but I'm winning in life. But
I was losing in spades, y'all.
Yeah, he was getting
my party
was tripping. But I thank y'all. I thank everybody that tapped in with us. This is going to be moved over into YouTube. I'm about to put up my YouTube channel. So I want everybody to get in. When I drop that link, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be doing a contest. Amen. So when I hit 1,000 viewers, I'm doing a cash money contest. Ooh. Just to let y'all know. So if you're not already, jump on Instagram and follow me at Kais Planet. That's KAIS_planet. Follow my Facebook page to keep up with stuff on Facebook. And I love y'all. And I will see y'all next time around with the next interview and the next dope person. Thank you, John.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. All right, y'all. God bless.